What's going on, YouTubers? This is my first Boa Care setup. I figured I'd make one because I did plenty of research online and to find tips and tricks, and I really couldn't find, that many videos on sand boas. I found a bunch on ball pythons and other snakes, but not so much on sand boas. So I figured I would make one. Maybe I could help somebody else out. Maybe I can help somebody else out who's in a situation like me, at one time where they didn't know what to do. Well, after researching forums and videos, I finally figured it out. Sand boas are easy to take care of, they're easy to maintain. My guy is right over there in the corner, hiding behind the Accurate humidity temperature gauge. I don't know why he hides back there, but he's hiding back there. I have sticky residue on the glass walls because I had analog gauges. Analog gauges are horrible. Do not buy them. I do not recommend them. Get yourself an Accurate. And yes, that is a Valentine's Day card because on the left side I have a ball python, and ball pythons don't like bright lights. But anyway, this is my sand boa tank. It's a 20-gallon tall tank. Not long, tall. The substrate that I'm using is Desert Blend ground English walnut shells. There's all kinds of bedding. There's aspen bedding, which I'm going to try that next because it's great for burrowing. Sand boas love to burrow. This substrate works great. I've never had a problem with it. Never had a problem with impactation because sometimes sand boas, eat the substrate when they're eating their food. I've never had a problem with him with impactation or anything like that. I have one hide on the hot side. I have one hide on the cool side. Sand boas require low humidity and about 95 degrees temperature on the hot side and about 88 on the cool side and low humidity. I use dome lights. I do night cycle. 75 to 100 watt basking bulb and 75 watt red bulb. When I turn the red bulb on at night, the temperature on the basking side drops to a mid 80s and the cool side drops to a mid low 80s to 70, 79. That's perfect. During the daytime, temperatures on the day cycle will go up to 95 degrees, and on the cool side, it will go to 88 degrees. I have a water dish, and I have a skull. I don't know if you can see that good. That's my skull, which is on the cool side. The water dish is the only humidity that they need. Unless they are going into shed, then you need to raise the humidity. Therefore, I will have to make a humid box with moss. And there he is over there. He's checking out the Accurate. That's what that is. It's an Accurate. He's checking it out. Sorry if I'm moving too fast. This is my phone. I don't actually have a camera. I don't usually do this type of stuff all the time. This is my first video. But anyway, that's the only humidity that they need is the water dish. You want humidity low and you want temperatures high during the day. Humidity low and kind of low temperatures at night, in the 80s, in the upper 80s. The only time they need high humidity is when they're in shed. or beginning to shed, then you want to create a shed box or a shed hide, and that's what eventually I'll be doing. I feed my guy one fuzzy a week. That's all they need. You know, some may, I don't know about babies, they might eat, pinkies and all that. My guy's approximately little over 1 year old, and he's about almost 2 feet. So I feed him one pinky, or one fuzzy, I should say, one fuzzy a week, and that's it. I have dome lights. I don't use a heating pad. There's no need for a heating pad when I have dome lights, because this whole side is his basking side. This whole side is his cool side. So I don't need a heating pad. Some people use heating pads. Some people use tubs. The tubs did not work out for me. I couldn't keep the abdomen surroundings in the 80s. The hot spot I had 95, but I could not keep the abdomen surroundings in the upper 80s. It was in the low 70s. You don't want to go into the 70s. You want to stay in the 80s on the warm side, and then the 95 on the hot side. And the humidity kept rising, so I could not, contain or control the humidity. It just kept going up and up and up. And sand boas don't need high humidity, because high humidity will cause respiratory infections. The only time you need high humidity, which would be in the 50s, low 50s, is when they're in shed or about to go in the shed. Then you get yourself a shed box. But other than that, pretty easy to maintain, pretty easy to take care of, don't require very much of anything. A hot spot, a cool spot, and a warm spot. This is kind of split down in two. I have a hot spot and I have a cool spot. Hot spot, cool spot. And that's pretty much about it. Get an AccuRite, get a dome light, day and night cycle, or if you prefer, getting a heating pad. I would not recommend having both. One or the other, but not both, because you don't want to cook your snake. You only need one source of heat. Either a heating pad or a day and night cycle dome like this one. I consider this one. You might consider it two, a day and a night, but I consider it one. Just a flip of a switch, basically. But that's pretty much about it. Sand boas are very, shy snakes. They like to hide. They spend 95% of their time burrowed. They don't need vines. They don't need logs. They don't need sticks. They don't climb. You barely see them. A hiding snake is a happy snake. You barely ever see them. Yeah, you barely ever see them. So no fancy stuff. 2 hides, a water bowl, and an AccuRite. That's it. You don't see them at all. No fancy branches or nothing. They don't climb, they hide. So that's pretty much about it. This is my first care setup video. I don't really do this type of stuff. I just figured I'd make one because I'm sure that this video might help somebody looking to set up their first sand boa tank or sand boa tub. But anyways, nothing much more left to cover than what I already covered, so just leave me feedback, good comments. Don't be an asshat and leave me negative and hateful comments. Just good feedback, good comments, and I hope this video helps somebody. And If I didn't explain something or if I didn't cover something, post it in the comments and just let me know. And if I see it, I'll reply. But that's about it. And as you can see, temperature's starting to rise because I had on a night cycle. So I gotta put it back on night cycle. Thanks for watching. Peace.